Hi everybody, it's Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I've got a great project for you today. Let's take a look at this quilt behind me. Isn't this fun? I love this bright, intense color. It's just so pretty. This is an easy pattern. You're going to enjoy making it. It goes together so quickly. I literally put this together in a day. So it's just a really fun, quick pattern. So what you're going to need to make this quilt is one roll of 2.5-inch strips. We've used Zola by June B for Ink and Arrow fabrics. You're also going to need 1 3/4 yards of background fabric. Now some of those are going to be cut into 5-inch strips, where we're going to make our 5-inch squares, and the rest is going to be used for this inner border right here. Our outer border, that's a 2.5-inch border. Our outer border is a 6-inch border, and we're going to need 1 3/4 yards for that outer border. Let's look at the back. The back is 5 1/4 yards, and that beautiful print on the back, that's just so pretty. This is just such a fun line. I don't know if you can see this, but there's like little dragonflies on here. So cute, really a cute line of fabric. All right, let me show you how to make this because this is super easy. So you're going to take your background fabric. Now if you want to use charms, you can. If you want to use the 5-inch squares, you can, but you need 56 of them. And so there's 42 in a pack. You're going to need to buy 2 packs, but you won't use them all. So we opted for yardage. We went for that 1 3/4 yards. We cut them into 5-inch strips like this, and then we cut them down into 5-inch squares. Now when I go to cut my yardage down into 5-inch squares, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my strip, and then I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to lay it on my lines up here, and I'm going to cut off my selvage edge right here. Make sure this is lined up nice and straight so you know you have a good 5-inch cut. And I'm going to cut off my little fold and my edge right there, and then I'm going to flip this around for my left-handed way. And I'm just going to lay my 5-inch ruler over here on the edge, and then I can just cut and just cut this ruler. I don't even have to look at the lines because it's just 5 inches wide, and I know it's going to be that easy. All right, so then we're going to take our strips, and you're going to take your roll apart. This is a fun roll because it's just lots of different bright colors, and we're going to match them up together in sets of 2. Every single strip is going to be sewn together. It's going to have a partner, and we're going to sew them together. We're going to lay them right sides together and sew 1/4 inch right down the side. And you're going to do this to your whole pack, okay? So we're going to come over here, lay your strips right together, line up your 1/4 inch, and sew. And I'm going to do a few of these so I can show you how to make this, because once you get your strips sewn together, you're actually going to need, we're just going to cut them all up and mix them all up so that it spreads that color all over the place. So we're just going to sew 1/4 inch right down the side. So once you get your strips all sewn together, you're going to have, like 21 sets of them. You're going to sew all of them. Then we're going to iron them open. And we're going to come over here to the iron. And I like to keep my dark piece to the top right here. And then I'm just going to roll this back. Just like this. Leave it so that my seam stays on the dark side. We're pressing to the dark side. All right. There we go. And we'll do it with the next one as well. Let me just clear some of this out of here. And again, I'm going to put my dark side, my strip on the top. And you can see I'm a very versatile ironer. I ironed the other strip going this way and this one going that way. It doesn't really matter. Either way works. All right. So now that you have your strips all ironed, ready to go, again, I just like to narrow my cutting order, and so I want to fold them up so I can get more cuts out of it. And we are going to sew these strips around this charm. So one side of this charm is 5 inches, which means we're going to go ahead and cut a 5-inch piece off of this. And I'm going to cut my selvage edge off right here. And then I'm going to lay my ruler on here and just cut a straight 5 like this. Now, you're going to do that to several of your pieces, and we're going to attach this to one side of our charm, and we're going to go over here and do that. So just lay that along the edge and sew 1/4 inch right down the side. And then we're going to come back and press this open. All right. Now, once you have your piece pressed open, what I do is I measure it, because not everybody's 1/4 inch seam is perfect, nor does it need to be. We just want it to be the same. So for me, this comes out 9 inches. So then I'm going to go ahead and take my other strip, and I'm going to cut my selvage edge off again. Always want to do that. You don't ever want to try and use that edge. It's got the little white pieces, and it's just, you know, it's just not pretty. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to come over here and trim that off. Now, I liked to put 2 different strips around my square. So now this one we're going to lay on this edge right here, and we're going to sew that up to it. Just 2 little steps. All right, here we go. 1/4 inch right down the side. Alrighty, and that's your whole block. Let's press it open and take a look at it. All right, so here's your block. We want to lay it on there. Looks like I have a little bit peeking out over here, so I'm just going to make sure I square this edge up right here. You should end up with, if my math is correct, and it isn't always, but you should end up with a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 inch block. I'm pretty sure. Alrighty, there we go. So this is your block. That's it right there. Now, literally, when I made this, my husband is really good at laying things out, and he sees the different angles and all that kind of stuff. And so he's really good at it. And I said to him, Ron, I just want you to play with this layout and see what happens. He literally laid it out 4 or 5 different ways, and we just had to pick the one that we liked. So let's take a look at this quilt and see what we've got. So this one right here, you can see the strips are at the bottom, the charm to the top. Charm down, charm up, charm down, charm up. You know, so that's how you're going to lay it out. You're going to lay your first one. You're going to take your rows. I've got some blocks over here that are done. And it's going to go that way, and that way, and this way, and that way. There we go. And you're just going to put your rows together like that. It's so simple. Once you get your row sewn, your next row is going to start just the opposite. So it starts with the corner up. So then you're just going to watch the layout, lay them out, and then you're going to sew each row together, and then you're going to sew your rows together. And it's going to make a quilt that is 74 by 83. This is a pretty good size quilt. We're going to put a 2.5 inch border around the outside, end it with a 6 inch border, and then send it off to the quilters. It's such a quick project. It's so fast, in fact, with just these 2 sides right here, I decided to call it the 2-step quilt. So just like the dance, it's the 2-step quilt. And we hope you enjoyed this tutorial from the Missouri Star Quilt Company.